You ever have a season where it feels like every single door is closing? Opportunities fall through, people walk away, you pray, you hustle, you do everything right, but yet nothing moves. That was me not too long ago, actually. And what I learned from it changed everything about how I move today. I was in a season where I felt like my identity was getting stripped away. Plans that I thought were from God, gone. Relationships that I thought were solid, gone. Even those small wins that I would usually lean on, those dried up too. And at first, I thought it was the enemy trying to stop me. But looking back, I know for certain that it was God not letting me settle for less than what He set out for me. And the breaking point came to me one night when I was praying for God to reopen a door that I had lost. I was frustrated and I was borderline begging. And it was like God spoke straight to my spirit. He said, "Why are you asking me to bless what I just rescued you from?" And that stopped me cold, because I realized that His no wasn't a punishment. It was protection. Different P's. And sometimes we can't see the fire on the other side of that open door until we're far enough away to look back. But here's what I know now. If God closes a door, it's not because He ran out of options for you. It's because He's redirecting you to a better one. And I used to see delays in my process as proof of failure, but now I see them as proof that I'm being guided, and maybe even re-guided. And that shift has saved me from so much unnecessary anxiety, because I don't have to force what isn't for me anymore. I just have to be faithful with where I'm at until that next door opens. So if you're in that season right now, here's what I'll tell you. Don't chase closed doors. If it slams shut, trust that God knows why. Look for the lesson before you look for the next move. There's something that He's trying to teach you in the waiting of it all. Don't rush into that next move, and then prepare. Like that next door is opening tomorrow. Just because that next door isn't open yet doesn't mean you shouldn't be ready to walk through it when it does. And I'm not gonna lie, waiting is hard. It's so difficult. Watching doors close feels like rejection. But if you look at it, it's actually redirection, divine redirection. And when you finally walk through that door that He's been preparing for you, you'll realize why every other door behind you had to shut. It won't be because you weren't ready. It'll be because He was making sure that it was the right one. So if every door feels closed right now, don't panic. Maybe you're just walking down the hallway where God builds your faith. And trust me, when that right door opens, you'll be so glad that you did not settle for the wrong one. You ever just wake up one day and realize that everything that's been hanging over you for months is finally just gone? Not because life magically got easier, but because something just inside of you just shifted. So that was me this week. And I want to tell you what changed, because maybe you're in the middle of that storm right now. For months, I felt like I was in survival mode. New city, new responsibilities, but old habits that were still trying to grab hold. And on top of that, there was this constant mental pressure, wondering if I'd ever get back to a place of peace. You know what I mean? Those days where your brain is constantly running, even when you're standing still. I was chasing momentum, But it felt like the more that I chased, the more it slipped through my fingers. And then something changed. And it wasn't some huge event that happened. It was actually just a normal day. I was sitting outside with a smoothie, no phone in my hand, no music, and I was just breathing. And I realized in that moment that this was the first time in a long time that I actually felt normal. Not like hyped up normal, not like fake it till you make it normal, just like steady and still. And I thought to myself, man, maybe this is what healing actually feels like. From the heart. Healing of the heart, genuine, and being on the other side of all that pain. And I learned that peace doesn't show up in the loud moments. It's not that dopamine rush, the next big win, or even those big emotional highs that you tend to get. Peace shows up on those Tuesday afternoons where nothing special is really happening, but your soul feels unshaken. It's where you stop looking for that next hit of validation and realize that those quiet, steady days are actually the real reward. And the crazy thing is that you can't fake your way to that. There's no shortcut to get there. You have to go through this uncomfortable, sometimes even painful pruning process where God strips away all of that noise. So if you're in the middle of that storm right now, let me give you 3 things that helped me get here. Number 1, stop running from the stillness. If you can't sit alone with yourself for even 15 minutes, you'll never hear the voice that actually matters. Number 2, let go of those relationships and habits that pull you backwards. Peace is expensive, and it'll cost you the people who profit from your chaos. Number 3, measure progress by your peace, not your pace. You have to take your time with this stuff. And speed without direction will burn you. Steady steps in the right direction will get you to where you have to be without losing your soul. So yeah, this isn't the most dramatic story. It's not like a viral headline, but it's real and it's where I'm at. And if you're in the middle of this storm right now, I promise you that peace is possible. You just have to take time to re-find yourself, gather yourself, and be okay in that isolation. It's really, really difficult. It's tough. But that is the work that is necessary to do to get you to a place of stillness. And it can't be one of those things where it's like, someday I'll get there, or when everything lines up. It has to be right in the middle of where you are right now, today. And if you're willing and you open your heart, God will strip away that noise. And then when that day comes, you'll know it. Not necessarily because something crazy happened, but because for the first time you'll sit there in that quiet space and realize that the weight of everything you were just going through finally lifted. And that feeling, you can't put a price on that. So put in that work and really be okay with sitting down with yourself. Because I promise you, once you commit to that effort, and it does take effort, once you commit to it, the reward of your peace is worth the pain.